I graphically remember when the news came out about Angelina Jolie making a decision to have a preventative mastectomy. So she had tested positive for the BRCA gene, but didn't have a cancer diagnosis. Is this right? And she was choosing to remove her breast. And that at the time was almost deemed shocking news. And you were her surgeon throughout that.
Well, it was such an empowering decision on her part to be such a, symbol of femininity and sexuality. She's obviously beyond gorgeous, but also a really devoted mother. And to put herself out there publicly to say, this is a mutation that I carry, this is what it means, and this is what I did about it, really set her up for criticism and being misunderstood. And she was willing to take that risk, all in the name of spreading a message to save lives. Because the reality is she blasted open a conversation that was deemed unacceptable to have. People wanted to dismiss it. They didn't understand it. They thought it was infrequent and histrionic, to be matter of fact. And so she forced the world to say, wait a minute, stop. What is this? What do you call it? BRCA, BRCA? Do I have it? Because if she has it, anybody can.
Totally. That's it. That's it. She was at the time one of the most famous people in the world. And like you say, a beauty icon. Another one of your patients who I know has also been very public about her experience is Sheryl Crow. She wrote the foreword for Breasts Are Known as Manual.
Yeah, another Rock and Roll Hall of Famer who decided to share her story because early detection saves lives. And that was her messaging, and it continues to be. She's never stopped being an advocate and loud voice for screening.
When I was going through treatment, I would have strangers message me on social media and tell me remedies for cancer, pineapples and lemons and all like weird mushrooms and all kinds of odd things that they believe would cure my cancer. What are some of the weirdest things you've heard that you're like, just for the record, that is not going to do any good?
Well, I'll tell you some weird things, but first I would like to comment that all of those things in isolation are never going to have the power. You're never going to kill your cancer with kale alone. But there are chemicals inside plants, so phytonutrients, plant-based nutrients, that truly you just chew and swallow and you don't even know what you've done, but you've unleashed weapons inside your body. The mushrooms, for example, have a powerful ability to go to your fat cells and turn off an enzyme there called aromatase that is turning adrenal gland steroids into the estrogen that fuels your cancer. So in point of fact, there's good evidence that women, there's one Chinese study, they looked at women who would eat mushrooms, and you'd think it would have to be like a chanterelle, portobello, something fancy and expensive. No, it was the cheapo white button mushroom, 10 grams worth, which is about the size of the tip of your thumb, about a half of a white button a day.
That's tiny,
And those who ate just that much every day versus no mushroom eaters had a 64% drop in breast cancer. They drank a lot of green tea. So those who had the mushroom plus green tea, 89% less breast cancer.
Because we are speaking about such hopeful things, and research is such a huge part of where funding goes when it comes to breast cancer. Is there anything, if we're thinking 10, 15, 20 years ahead, we've got this goal of 0 deaths from breast cancer. Is there anything that is coming through in innovation and in research that you're really excited about, that is a huge game changer for breast cancer?
Immunotherapy, hands down.
Really?
So again, we talked about the soldiers on the battlefield. The little soldiers that are going to kill the cancer are only immune cells. That is what is out there. So we need to do a couple of things successfully on the front end before cancer develops, and it will always be fine. So here are the things. You need to embolden the natural killer cells and the cytotoxic C cells, the little soldiers that are out there. They need to be fully equipped with what they need. So everything else needs to not distract them. So you need these cells fully functional and able to zero in on a cancer cell. Part 2 is the cancer cells need to always be revealed. They are sneaky. A lot of cancer is like, we'll take that protein back inside, thanks. So you can't see me now, can you? And they can't. And the third thing that needs to happen is we actually have a yin and yang inside of us. Like there's a counter cell that will stop your immune cell. We need those things that suppress our immune system to be suppressed. If there's cancer actually present, those cells need to be told, no, back off. I'm not overactive. I'm actually killing cancer. So don't stop me right now. We just need those 3 things to happen in the form of an injectable BioShield, and it's all here now. It exists. It just needs
to be implemented and put together and tested and rolled out effectively. That's what's happening.